Ever heard of a ruler so moody that his own advisors had to use mind games to keep him in check? Let's travel back to the final days of the Malik Sultanate and meet Sultan Al Ghuri. This guy was a real piece of work. One minute he's writing beautiful poetry and commissioning stunning architecture. The next, he's dishing out brutal punishments for the smallest mistakes. Living in his court was like walking on a tightrope over a pit of crocodiles. Everyone was constantly on edge. One day, a wealthy merchant found himself in the Sultan's crosshairs. This merchant was successful, trading in exotic silks and spices, and Al Ghuri, who was always short on cash for his fancy buildings and armies, got jealous. He accused the merchant of hiding his wealth and cheating the state out of taxes. The Sultan demanded a massive payment, threatening to take everything the merchant owned. The poor man was terrified. He swore he was loyal and had paid every last coin he owed. But he knew arguing with the Sultan was a one-way ticket to the executioner's block. Desperate, the merchant sought help from one of the Sultan's viziers, a man famous for his cleverness and sharp wit. The vizier listened, stroked his beard, and came up with a brilliant, if risky, plan. It was a long shot, but it was the only shot they had. The next day, the vizier approached the Sultan, not with bags of gold, but with a small, beautifully carved wooden box. He bowed deeply and said, "Your Majesty, the merchant sends this gift as a symbol of his unwavering loyalty. However, he has a special request. The Sultan, always a sucker for a bit of drama, was intrigued. A request? What is it?" he demanded. The vizier replied, "He asks that you make a promise. Promise that you will only open this box when you feel truly satisfied, when you believe you have gathered all the wealth you could possibly desire. He swears that its contents are worth more than all his fortunes combined. But its true value can only be revealed when your hunger for riches is finally satisfied." Al Ghuri's eyes lit up. Greed and curiosity wrestled in his mind. A treasure greater than anything he could imagine. He had to have it. He took the box and locked it away in his most secure vault. Certain it held some legendary jewel or a map to an ancient treasure. He still took the merchant's tribute, but the thought of that box changed everything. The promise of an ultimate prize made his current demands seem almost petty. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. The Sultan became obsessed. Every time he felt the urge to squeeze his subjects for more money, he'd think of the box. Not yet. He'd tell himself, "I'm not content yet. The ultimate prizes." Still waiting. This obsession, this endless waiting for the perfect moment to open the box, actually made him less greedy in his day-to-day rule. He became so focused on this imaginary ultimate treasure that he stopped being so tyrannical with his financial demands. The vizier had played the Sultan perfectly, using his own greed as a weapon against him. The clever ruse worked. The merchant was safe, and his business thrived, all because the Sultan was waiting for a day that would never come. And what was inside the box? The thing that was supposedly worth more than all the gold in the kingdom. It was filled with a handful of sand and a tiny scroll. On the scroll was a simple message: true wealth is contentment. But of course, Sultan Al Ghuri never opened it. He could never admit to being content, and so the empty box, a masterpiece of psychological strategy, saved a man's life and fortune. It just goes to show that sometimes the cleverest weapon isn't a sword, but an idea. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story of wit and royal intrigue, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more tales from history. See you next time.